We're at the 25th Annual Marketing Partner Forum hosted by Thomson Reuters. And I'm delighted to be joined today by Neil Rosolinsky, Deputy General Counsel and the Head of Litigation for Citizens Financial. Neil was one of 4 in-house counsel on a panel today that talked about how law departments are using data and key performance indicators to evaluate and improve the performance of the law firms that they work with. And Neil, it was a fascinating conversation, but it struck me, I've worked in law firms for about 15 years now, and it seems like we're having the same conversation year after year, at least from the outside. And I wonder, from the inside, do you see evidence of improvement by law firms over the years?
Yeah, so I think some. The answer is some. And from my vantage point, there are some firms that are making an effort that are actively having the conversation and starting the conversations with us and looking for the feedback so that they can improve. And there are others that just don't. I think until more firms start looking for that open dialogue, the progress is going to be a bit stymied.
Right. One thing I really appreciated was that the tone of the panel was really not to use the data for punitive purposes, but to collaborate, to partner with the law firms to help them improve. And I wonder if there are special techniques that you use at your firm to collaborate or coach the firms that you work with so that they can give you the kind of service that you're looking for, something that's tailored exactly to what would be most valuable to you.
Yeah, and we do. And one thing that we do, and I think I might have mentioned this on the panel, is although our case management system isn't visible necessarily to our outside counsel, in terms of the key metrics and the data points that we find most valuable, we discuss those with our outside counsel, and we'll discuss that with them at the outset of a matter, at the outset of a transaction, or as part of a year-end or a year kickoff conversation. So they are aware, they understand what we're looking at, and sort of going along with the first question, I think some of them really take it to heart and work with us throughout the year, matter over matter, and again, we'll have ongoing conversations about that. And others, it's one of those duly noted, but the progress isn't necessarily there.
So I think my favorite line in the panel was something that you said, which was that at the beginning of every matter, you really hope that the outside lawyer asks you, what does winning look like for you? And that's a terrific question, and I wonder if, given how valuable that is to how the whole matter sets up and how the law firm works that matter, do you have a way of ensuring that the lawyers ask you that? Do you systematize that in some way, or do you just hope that they ask you that, and if they don't, take it from there?
Yeah, so it's a bit of a mix. When we go out with an RFP or request for proposal, let's say we go out to 3 firms, we hope that at least one of the 3 will ask that question. If none of them do, we'll use other criteria to pick whichever firm we think is most suitable. But then when we have our initial kickoff meeting after selection, before the firm has billed 1 minute on the matter, I say to them, or a colleague will say, this is what winning looks like for us. Now, let's talk about the strategy and how to effectuate that.
Terrific. It's clear from the conversation on the panel, but also from other similar panels about law firms' performance, that most law firms still have a long ways to go to meet the standards of their clients. And in order to meet those standards, they really need to change. And to change, they need to invest in new capabilities and new approaches. And I wonder, from your perspective, what would be the most important areas for law firms to invest in? Should it be the actual skills of their lawyers in terms of interacting with clients? Should it be the technology support they have, staff support? What do you think would be most valuable?
Yeah, I think it's a good and very difficult question to answer. I think that soft skills is very important. I mean, soft skills is something you don't learn in law school. And when you get to a law firm, I'm not sure, how much of that type of stuff is really discussed and taught and fostered. The other thing is also, I think, business-mindedness. And by the way, a lot of partners don't necessarily have it. They have it with respect to the business of running a law firm or being a partner in a law firm, but not, in the same way that a client would. So one thing you had mentioned to me actually earlier was about secondments, and something that your firm is looking to do in terms of a rotation, and I think that's invaluable. because until somebody has, been in my shoes or, sat within an organization, understanding the different pressures and the real business partnership between the in-house legal department and finance and the revenue generators and whatever business it might be, I think, it's very difficult for them to serve us in the way that we want to be served.